Hey everybody, so I got a update on the fence. It's more of an update on what should have happened and didn't happen, so please stick around, check out the video, and I'll see you guys there. Thank you for watching. Alright everybody. Well, there's Todd.
It's okay, Todd.
That's actually my cat. I just let her hang outside for a while. Okay, so I'm going to show you what I had to put in the dumpster, which is a bunch of concrete and crap ton of mortar bags, because 3D masonry was called. I'll just start from the beginning, and informed of the very bad disrespect to people's property that their subcontractor had done, which is the gentleman, his son, and some other kid that installed my wall. Problem is that they left all of this shit out here for a week. But anyways, 3D masonry was called. And the owner, female owner of 3D masonry, said we'll send them back out to clean up their mess. So they came back out this morning, about 8 something this morning. Almost, it was more like 9:30 this morning. They were out here for an hour or so, and they still left all of this here. All of this H fence, or ladder, all this H ladder that's rusted out. This I can't say anything to. They had nothing to do with this. Somebody dropped this here like 4 years ago for whatever reason. As you can tell, there's still a lot of cinder block out here, which I will come out here and pretty much pick the rest of this up by hand and throw it in this pile, because if you guys remember the last video, this pile was a crap ton bigger. They picked up some of it. All the H block and extra block that was sitting right here is gone, so they picked that up. But they left a crap ton of this still here, because they cleaned all of it up. But all of this pile, I literally grabbed what was against the wall and over here by this big brick piece and anywhere else that I could find. I piled it up again, and there's a bunch right here as well that I need to pick up. As you guys remember, there was a bunch of metal here, and there was a bunch of concrete, dried concrete right here. Well, I scooped that up and I threw it in that pile. So they didn't physically pick up the concrete that was here. Hey, Bullseye. They didn't pick up the concrete that was right here. There's some cinder block right here. You know, see how ridiculous this is. She sent them back out here to fucking clean up their mess, you know, and I'm, no offense, sorry, I'm cussing. I don't normally cuss on my videos, but it is aggravating. Yeah, I just threw those over there. Now, me and family member asked family member to come over and help me. Remember, this spot right here used to be a crap ton of all of those bags of high strength concrete. It's like 8 bags of high strength concrete and like 10 or something bags of mortar mix or fence mix. Well, what they did is they picked all the bags that were on the ground, even the sealed bags. They cut the bags open, dropped all the product on the ground, and then just threw the bags in the back of their truck. It was extremely half-assed cleaning, in my opinion. She told them to come out here and clean all this. They didn't. They physically came out here, picked up what was in the main alley by the side of my house, and still left a crap ton of stuff, because after everything that I had piled up here and I had made the sifter to sift out all of my dirt, got all the dirt put in the yard and all the holes in my yard filled, and they cleaned up what pile was here. Well, funny thing is, after they left, this is the pile that I gathered were all the spots that they missed. Like, there was a bunch over here, which there's still a little bit over here. All this right here that I need to manually pick up. I'm not going to like completely pick up every single piece, but the majority of what I can get over here, I will put over here. And this is the same guy that smoked half of his cigarette, put the cigarette out in the mortar that was wet, and then threw the cigarette inside the wall, on the wall that was being built. It was the very first panel. I watched him do it. It was, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 bricks before the top. So there's 9 bricks to make the whole wall. And on the 8th layer of the panel, he laid this mortar right here while it was wet. He dabbed his Marlboro cigarette out in it, and it was half smoked, so there's half the cigarette left. Put the cigarette out in the mortar, and then he dropped it in the wall, and then he put the 9th layer on, which was annoying. I mean, you know, if you have that much disrespect for people's property and how you do the job, then you can't really be trusted. Well, a family member of mine helped me pick up all that mortar and concrete, high-strength concrete mix off the ground and put it in, which was a portion of it, what you saw was in my dumpster, and he took the rest in a couple buckets. But what they did is there was a hole, I guess, here from a gopher or some snakes, something, you know, big huge hole, probably from like 3 or 4 gophers digging the dirt out. And it was about, I don't know, 6 inches deep, 7 inches deep, maybe a little deeper. And they just poured the concrete and dumped everything here to fill in the hole. Well, the problem was there was enough dirt over here to fill the hole. Kind of obvious. So we ended up getting, I had to take a mini sledge and break up the concrete, and we put a portion of the concrete that was already dried in my buddy's pickup truck. He took it with him, and the rest went in my dumpster, and we just backfilled it with the dirt that was over here. You know, it's not perfect, but you know, it's nobody comes back here half the time. And I used that steel combi system that I bought to do all of this back here, including the section for my neighbor's yard. But you come over here, and here's a bunch of concrete, solid concrete that they poured. Well, this is one slab. They just literally found a hole. I figured, oh, there's a hole right here. We'll just pour it over here. And this is a heavy piece. It's about 3 or 4 inches thick. So I need to break that down. And then here, there's some more concrete that's dried. More concrete, dirt, and a crap ton of mortar over here. This wasn't here when I did the first video. This must have been dumped over here today when they came to clean it up, because there was no pile over here. So, and then some more concrete right here. So it's a giant mess. And it's aggravating because there's no respect for people's property, because when I complained that they were just dumping their wheelbarrows at the end of their day, which, you know, they were only here for 4 or 5 hours and go home. They'd show up at 6:30, leave on the first day at noon. Second day, show up at like 7:15, something like that. And then leave at like 1:15, 1:20. And then the third day, they showed up at almost 9 o'clock. It was like 8:40 something when the 2 young kids showed up. The physical person that was the only one that was able to physically lay brick didn't show up till like 9 something. And he left at like, he complained like 2 minutes after he showed up. Oh my god, it's so hot, I'm so tired. It's not even hot out here. You know, when he showed up, the sun was only up for a few hours, and right now, because of how weird the weather is, we're getting rain and crap in Arizona. We shouldn't be getting rain and crap in Arizona. I already showed you guys in the previous video that the wall is crooked, and I explained a lot more of this stuff. You know, you guys, if you watched the channel, you saw that that pile was bigger. This H fence is still here. You can correct me. I'm not a masonry expert. I believe I was told it was H fence. Or I think I said it correctly at the beginning of the video. I don't remember what I said at the moment. But, you know, and I cleaned the yard. Got as much as the leaves from this tree. And this tree must be coming back to life because it's really dark green. But, cleaned all around here, the back by this shed, in front. I gotta throw some stuff up here away. I took all the sand out of this because I'm gonna scrap this because it's been bent for a while, all the sand's in the wheelbarrow. But, you know, go back to the fence. Now you can see I cleaned up all the weeds. Started burning the weeds in the yard. But, I'm a little irritated because she sent them back out to clean up their mess because that's not professional, and they picked up the pile of rocks that the pile of, not rocks, but the pile of cinder block, broken cinder block that I physically siphoned through or sifted through with this. And here's the pile of leaves, that's what's left, but this homemade sifter I did on the last video. It's ridiculous. They came out, picked up the pile that I sifted through, and that was it. They didn't pick up anything that they destroyed. They didn't pick up, you know, any of the concrete that the young kid poured, and he told us that, oh well, you know, I fired that kid because, you know, I didn't know that he was doing that, and I call a bunch of bull crap on that. Because I'll show you guys real quick. I don't want the video to be too long, but I'll walk back out there and I'll show you guys. You know, and I appreciate you guys, you know, stopping by the channel and watching, giving your opinions, what you think of this. You know, leave in the comments down below, you know, if you agree that contractors and subcontractors should not act this way, because it clearly states on the sign. A sign right there and the sign across the street on that side, it says no dumping. And then on that sign right there, when you drive into the alley, it says no dumping. But where these guys were parked was this gate was completely open, and they pulled in from that end of the alley, so they pulled in this direction towards me from the hood of the vehicle. The vehicle was facing this direction. Driver's side door was facing right here. Passenger side door was facing here. So when he physically got done walking out the yard, on multiple occasions, the truck was either facing with the hood facing that direction or the hood facing behind me. So either way, the bed was either backed up towards the gate or the front of the truck was facing towards the gate. No matter how you look at it, if he walked towards the bed of his truck, whether the bed was facing that end or the bed was facing behind me, would not have mattered. You would have still saw the big giant pile sitting here. You still saw the concrete right here because you walked past it every time you walked out the gate. You would have seen the huge bags of mortar and concrete sitting in the friggin' alley, and you would have seen the piles of mortar and the piles of concrete farther end of the fence. Whether the driver's side door was facing this alley or the passenger side door was facing this alley, it wouldn't have mattered. You would have seen it. And he told me, oh, you know, I didn't notice that. And it was the young white kid that took the barrel from my yard, or the bucket from my yard, which irritated me as well, because the kid didn't walk over to my house and say, hey, you know, can I borrow this bucket? He didn't walk to the front. There's a spigot in the back. That irritated me as well. They're like walking all the way through my back gate, all the way around my fence, which you can see that I'm doing that with 5-gallon paint buckets to use my hose sitting right here on the ground, when there was literally a hose 5 feet from where they were working. And this is what irritated me the most. This is the bucket that they took from my yard. It was sitting just like this, right next to my shop press. It was sitting just like this with a handle. It's completely covered in concrete, and the sticker is gone. It used to say Mrs. Klein's Pickles, because my wife worked at a convenience store and they used to sell pickles from the bucket. So it used to be full of pickles, and all of these white buckets that I have in my yard are all Mrs. Klein pickle buckets, because my wife brought them home because they didn't need them. Well, the white kid that he fired came into the front yard, grabbed this, and just decided to use it. Didn't ask, didn't say, hey, can I borrow? Nothing. And I'm still trying to get the concrete out of it. When he took this bucket, it had a handle, and all these little side fins were still there. And on the bottom of the bucket, you can see the ridge that made up the lip of the bucket doesn't exist anymore on half of it. So that's irritating. You know, you don't just walk into somebody's yard and take stuff out of their yard and just use it and then not return it. Now, we're at about 17 minutes, but you know, they're working on this wall right here. And the previous video I showed you how crooked the wall is. And you know, if you guys want me to do another video where I'm actually using a level, let me know. I will definitely show you guys how unlevel the side and the top of the wall is, if you guys want to know. But yeah, it's pretty bad. It's really crooked. But so they're working on this wall. So if I walk over here where this concrete slab is, they're working on that wall right there. Now if you turn around, because they brought wheelbarrows in from the gate, right here, right onto this concrete, went right that way, down this walkway towards the back door to start the second panel. Now get this, they've passed it 1,000 times. If you literally turn, there's the hose. There was no need to walk all the way out that gate, all the way around the yard, into the front yard to carry 5-gallon buckets full of water, all the way back through the gate, all the way over here. It's just not very common sense, you know. And I will be cutting up this rebar. Technically, the insurance paid me to pay them, and they left it in the alley. I was not going to let somebody steal this out of the alley. These are probably 20 foot sticks, maybe 25 foot sticks, 30 sticks at the most, foot sticks at the most of rebar. And it doesn't have a lot of rust jacking on it. It's actually pretty clean. I can take a little wire wheel to it and clean it. What I'm going to do is I'm going to be cutting this up in sections and putting it in the barn as in case needed. And then all this newer H-fence or whatever the heck I called it at the beginning of the video. But you know, it's just ridiculous, and I need to clean the yard again because the dogs are pooping in the yard. But you know, and then like here's somewhat of where they dump the concrete, and you can tell this, all this right here is where they dump the concrete. All of this gray, and then all of this right here. There used to be a bunch of holes right here, and you can see where there's cinder block pieces, and where I siphoned or sifted all that dirt out of that cinder block. That's what filled these holes over here. Like this hole right here, there's like 3 or 4 holes going through here, and then like 4 or 5 holes from here to over here. So I filled it all in. My wife was nice enough to use the sifter for the last amount of sifting through that cinder block and dirt. And my wife filled in the holes over here. And then what was left in the barrel when she brought it back, the wheelbarrow when she brought it back in the yard, what I did is I just all I did was dump the wheelbarrow in this section to try to make it more even. And let me see your face, dude. Come here. You got hair on your face. Good boy. Good boy. Yeah. Oh, bullseye. Yeah. Yeah. Say hi. Arf. Arf. Say hi. Arf. 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 Nice. Nice. Good boy. Hi, Harley. Alright, so you know, I'm not too happy about what they've done, and I'm not happy that she sent the contractor sent the subcontractor back out here to, you know, do their job and clean up what they dumped, because the kid dumped it, and the subcontractor cannot tell me that he did not see any of that. I call bullcrap on that. I know for a fact that he saw it. No matter how he left the backyard, he had to fucking see it. And I have to clean all this up because this is randomly the wall's over there, and randomly there's a bunch of cinder block over here. But I have a crap ton of ant infestation. There used to be a pool right here. That's why there's a bunch of sand back here. But and freaking ants. I can't get rid of them. No matter how hard I try, I can't get rid of them. If anybody's got suggestions on how to kill ants, because I've tried soap, ant killer, a pest service, a couple different pest services, and I've even went as far as pouring gasoline down the ant hole, lighting it, and they still come back for whatever reason. But appreciate you guys stopping by, listening to my rant. You know, a little update on the fence. Fence is still crooked. I don't know what's going to happen with that. I want the contractor, 3D Masonry, the original contractor, not the subcontractor. I want them, who I paid to get the wall done, I want them to come out and look at the wall. And if she or her husband deem that the work was not satisfactory to their standards, and or they agree with me that it's inappropriate and the standards are not met, in my opinion, hopefully they'll tear down what they need and they will rebuild it. If you guys want to see any more updates on this, please let me know. If you guys want, I can use levels, and I can show you guys how unlevel the wall is vertically, horizontally, on top, side. all that good jazz if you guys want. I appreciate you guys stopping by. Please like, comment, subscribe. Hit the bell notification icon for future updates. Go check out my Amazon affiliate links. Leave your comments, criticisms, hates, dislikes down below. Let me know if you think the subcontractor did a really piss poor job. The other thing is that's irritating me before I let you go is that now it's dang near impossible to get a hold of 3D Masonry, the owners, because I gave them the money. The subcontractor supposedly finished the job, and now they won't answer the phone. So that's not a plus for me either if they're not going to answer the phone. I will be trying my hardest to get them to answer the phone. If I have to send them these series of videos, I will, because in my personal opinion, no contractor would ever treat somebody's yard like that, let alone put cigarettes out on what they're building and then throw it in the wall. You know, it's inappropriate behavior, and in my opinion, if you find a contractor like that, fire that contractor before they even finish the work and hire somebody that's reputable. Because if you are willing to put your cigarettes out in the wall you're building and then drop them inside the wall, that just tells you how chintzy of a subcontractor or contractor they are, which means that they don't value their work. And me looking at it, I don't value the work either. You know, when he started it, it was all level. Problem is he put the panels up before the H-block concrete had dried in the H-block. Which means that when he put the entire panel up, he put 5.5 panels up in one day, when it took him almost 4 days to put 2 panels up. So that's the reason why the wall's leaning again. And it's not just leaning one direction like it was. It's now leaning, one panel's leaning to the left, one panel's leaning to the right. So one's leaning in my yard, one's leaning in the neighbor's yard. And one panel is completely just round bowed, which is the panel that they were supposed to physically actually take all the way down, because the insurance approved 7 panels out of the 8 panels, and 6.5 panels were taken down. So the panel that's actually bowing like into my yard like this, or like this, it's kind of hard to show, but let me put the camera here. So the panel that's actually bowing into my yard, which they only took a portion of the panel down, it's actually bowing like this. It used to be straight and it was just falling. It was leaning. Now the panel, instead of leaning, it's now bowing. So that's not good either. But it's enough of me ranting. I appreciate your guys' time. Leave your comments down below. If you guys, leave your stories down below. Have any of you guys ever had a contractor that done this kind of shoddy work to you before? Or tell me your stories. You know, contractor you hired to do a specific project, whether it was building a house or building something, a fence for you, or a fire pit or something, and you had a bad experience. Leave them down below. That's what the comments are for. I appreciate your guys' time. Please like, comment, subscribe. Hit the bell notification icon for future updates. Go check out my Amazon affiliate links, and I'll see you guys on the next video. Peace.